30 March 2020, and as I promised, every evening I'll be coming to give you an update on coronavirus. Today is day 1, and that is day 1 of the lockdown in Zimbabwe, and many people stayed away from the cities, especially in Harare. There was no activity at all. So this was a great day, a first day of lockdown. People obeyed the lockdown. So I want to give you the 5 highlights of today. Every day I'll give you 5 highlight stories. Then I'll give you the statistics and we'll conclude. So the first story is the Germany finance minister killed himself because of the impact of coronavirus on the economy in his country. He had so much pressure about what was happening in the economy because of coronavirus. He took his own life, and his body was found near a railway track there in Frankfurt, Germany. Very, very sad. And his name is called Mr. Thomas Shafa. So he killed himself today because of coronavirus. Very high level victim of this disease. The second story that I want to mention is that in the United States of America, African Americans are now the most affected by coronavirus. So they did the checks of who is affected by coronavirus, and about 20 to 25% of the people that are affected are African Americans. As you know, African Americans are a minority in America, which means there is a disproportionate number of African Americans who are affected by coronavirus. The reason obviously being probably the lifestyle where they live, if they were going to clubs, I do not know exactly, but how it has something to do with the way the community lives. That is why the community is so highly affected by coronavirus. Story number 3, highlight story number 3, in Italy, the infections have passed 100,000 for the first time, and the most affected people are health workers. These people, nurses, doctors, are dying in great numbers. In Nigeria, that is highlight story number 4, in Nigeria, the girlfriend of popular musician Davido tested positive for coronavirus after she returned from the UK. 31 other people were tested, and she's the only one who became positive. So these are the people who came into contact with her. She's the only one who came out positive, and she's now in quarantine. Davido himself is also now in quarantine. In Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe's had the first day of a lockdown. There was no activity in Zimbabwe today, and as I said, a few mines that are South African owned were operating. We published that story today, this afternoon, but otherwise most shops were closed. The soldiers were not very visible on the street. I'm sure they're going to be very visible at night. When people go to sleep, they'll be obviously looking around for those people that do not obey the lockdown. Right, so that was the 5th highlight stories. Let us go now to the statistics. How many people are affected in the top 5 countries? How many people have died? In the United States, 148,089 people are infected. 2,599 people are dead. In Italy, 101,739 people are infected. 11,591 people are dead. In Spain, 85,195 people are infected. 7,330 people are dead. In China, 81,000 people, 478 were infected. 3,304 died. In Germany, 63,929 people were infected. 560 people died. Now, I want to mention that the numbers in China have been questioned. There is a theory that, so this theory has been advanced yesterday, that in fact the numbers in China were understated by 40 times. So here China is saying they had 81,000 people that were infected. Multiply this number by 100 and divide by 2. That will give us approximately 4 million people, in fact. So it will give us about 4 million people who were infected by this disease. This is what the theory going around is saying, that so many people were infected. Then multiply obviously the number of deaths by 40. So 40 by 3, that will give you 120,000 people who died of this disease. Those are the numbers that are coming out of the Western governments. The Western governments are not happy with what China did by understating these numbers. This is the information that is out there. But today, I have given you a complete summary of how many people were infected and how many people actually died of this disease. So this is a very terrible disease. It's not a disease to play with. And so in summary, 755,000 people have been infected and we've had 36,000 people who died. This is the situation with coronavirus, a very deadly disease. In a country like Zimbabwe, there's been very poor testing. Only 197 people have been tested. So that is 197 people tested in a country of, let's say, 15 million. That's not enough testing. There could be a place right now where there are thousands of people who've got coronavirus, but it's not been tested. This disease is a serious disease. I mentioned this more than a month ago, and this situation needs to be addressed in Zimbabwe. If you're in Zimbabwe, try to avoid public places. Don't touch things. Don't go to public places. Stay home. I am personally avoiding any movements until the 21 days are over. And I hope you all do the same. Right, so what I want to do now is I want to wrap it up here. And then in the morning, I'm going to come back. Very early in the morning, there is a very interesting subject I want to discuss in the morning. But for now, if you're watching this video on WhatsApp, you know many people in the rural areas. Please spread our videos through WhatsApp. Send them to your groups. Send them to your contacts. Let's reach as many people as possible. I know that many people cannot access YouTube or Facebook this time.